YTPC. Padre Piper coming to you via the virtual airwaves of YouTube saying, hello YouTube pipe community. I hope you are enjoying the blessings that you need to be looking for. Go out, find those blessings. Find reasons to give thanksgiving. I'm not going to preach. You know what I do want to do? I want to do an imitation. This is Derek Tant imitating my intro. YTPC, Padre Piper coming to you via the virtual. It's like he thinks I'm, he does this, this imitation. It almost sounds more like Casey Kasem. American Top 40. Anyway, just giving you a little bit of a hard time, Mr. Mayor. You know I love you. What am I smoking today? A little housekeeping. I've got the Big Ben, and in it, I've dried out some Sam Gawith Grousemoor. Very nice Virginia. And you know, I am working on learning a fonder appreciation for the Virginias, particularly with summer upon us now. It's just, I've not had luck with them in the past. They either burn a little too hot or too fast, or I'm learning. I'm learning, and this one, I've been enjoying it. You gotta like the Lakelands though. There's definitely that floral essence in it. I've got other Virginias that I've had no problem smoking. Orly Golden Slice comes to mind. That one, I get a little easily tired with it. It's I don't know. This Gawith Grousemoor, I don't know how you pronounce that. There's just something about it. It keeps you interesting. It remains an interesting smoke the entire time. And again, smoking it in this lovely Big Ben. I just like this pipe. I think they may consider this a church warden. It's on the wee bit smaller side for church warden, but it is what it is. You know, I'm so appreciative from of all the comments that I received on the last video. I know not everybody agreed. That was clear by the number of thumbs downs that I got. Whatever. Those who chose to actually comment, thank you. I appreciate your input. And I did get called out, and I think it's important for me to say that, by somebody who is not a presenter and does not post, but someone who I became friends with because of these videos on YouTube. And I'm going to keep him anonymous because that's the way he chooses to operate. But he did send me a text after watching last week's video and my little bit of a political rant, and I am going to commit to you today not to speak about anything political. I'm not even going to take the bait on the U.S. North Korean summit being canceled. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick to pipe smoking. But that other video, you know, here's what this person told me, and this is fair, folks. I just want you to know that, you know, not everybody is willing to say the kind words. That sometimes we need to be rebuked. We need to have a little bit of a slap down in a loving sort of way. And so this is what this Piper texted me that evening. He says, "Dear Padre, I'm sorry your heart is heavy. We share your grief. May I respectfully suggest that those who argue that repeating the, quote, thoughts and prayers, end quote, response is not particularly useful in solving problems, or perhaps merely voicing the same frustration and helplessness that you have. They're not bad people, just confused as to what to do." He goes on and says, "Pardon my words, but inviting those who disagree with you to unsubscribe and not be a part of what I, for one, consider a kind of pipe brotherhood ministry may not be the best solution. All of us need your closing prayer of God's peace, grace, and blessings now more than ever." And you know what? Yeah, he's right. I was emotionally charged, I admit it, feeling a little passionate that day, and maybe it wasn't the best idea to record that video with that content, but I did. It's out there. One of the reasons I think it really wasn't a great idea is this. Pardon me while I take a little sip of my, this is not for product placement. I'm not advertising for the Country Squire, but if you're not familiar with Country Squire tobacconist, you should be. And this is a great mug. I'm having a little bit of a green tea. I'm normally a black coffee drinker, but I happen to find that this Gawith Grousemoor goes really well with green tea. And it does require, I know I'm all over the place today, it requires some drying time. And I wanted to share, I'm gonna roll some B clip right here, because I wanted to share with you how I go about drying out tobacco. And maybe you have a better idea, or maybe this is helpful to someone, but these coffee filters I find are wonderful. You can just spread your tobacco out in it. Because it's you know, a paper, it does a little bit of the moisture absorbing, but it just gives you a little something also to keep your baccy in. So that's how I do it. And you do need to dry out, like most of the Samuel Gawith mixes, you do need to dry that tobacco out considerably. It does come drowned rat, as Bradley, our friend Bradley, would say. But anyway, back to this text that I received. It's absolutely true. I should not have told people to unsubscribe. I mean, I can't control if they do or not. It wasn't an invitation for people who disagree with me to unsubscribe. I was frustrated over some things I had seen in my social media feed by people rejecting thoughts and prayers, and that was the part I was really upset about, and telling people if that's you, you know, move on. But yeah, it is what it is. And again, we all have our opinions, and I don't know if this was the format for that, but for all of you, one of the reasons, let me get back to that point, why I probably shouldn't have posted that video, is because I have this sort of obsessive compulsive tendency on a new video that when somebody comments, I have to respond to their comment. And I don't just typically write thanks or whatever. I mean, sometimes I do, but a lot of times the OCD in me causes me to really take what they've said and converse back with them to give a very thoughtful response. Well, my goodness, I got so many responses on that last rant video that it literally exhausted me over the weekend trying to keep up with the responses. So now I'll feel less guilty if I put this video up, because that's how my OCD works. I don't have to be so obsessive compulsive in my responding to the previous video. So you may get ignored on the previous video if you comment now. It's just one of those quirky things about me. The other thing, after I took a major mea culpa, and that's Latin for my bad. After I took a major mea culpa with my friend in the text and said, brother, you are right, and you know what he says to me next? He says, now, another suggestion. If you need a proper pipe lighter, I will send you one. Apparently, he had some issues with me using the church's Acolyte supply closet lighter. And I do have a proper pipe lighter. My goodness. But if anybody wants to send me one, let me know. Happy to have more. So, what else is going on? I want to update folks on the Padre Piper's 1,000 sub giveaway. It's the Ain't Dere No More video response giveaway. We're closing in toward the end of the month now. We've got, about a week or so left to go on that. So get those responses in. It closes out at the end of the day, Central Standard Daylight Time, on the 31st of May. And I'll be choosing 3 winners from the video responses that we received. Wonderful video responses thus far. Keep them coming. There's a playlist. I'll put that down in the cellar for anybody who wants to go watch those. And what I've asked folks to do in their video response is to just offer an obituary or maybe a eulogy or somehow that you want to be remembered when you ain't there no more. Because, folks, look, St. Paul tells us this in the epistles. He calls it a tent. This tent that we're in, it's temporary. It really is. You know, we're not physical entities that happen to have a spirit. We are actual spiritual entities that just happen to have a little body right now for a little bit of time. So, yeah, you should be thinking about how you want to be remembered when you ain't there no more, because it gives you the power that if you're not living up to the standards that you want to be remembered for, you've got time right now to make those changes. So I've asked folks to do an Ain't There No More video response, an obituary that they could write for themselves, or a little bit of a eulogy, and the responses have been great. They really have. Some of them are very deep, some of them are very silly, some of them are short, some of them are long. It's all in good fun. It's also a good exercise if you want to make it that. If you don't, that's okay too. But I've been so impressed, and I'm so thankful for the number of responses thus far. And you still got a little bit of time to get in on that. So please, if you want to do it, get in. We're giving away, like I have a multiple personality or something. I am giving away some tins of tobacco that ain't there no more, that you can't find. Most of them are McClellan's. Some Syrian Latakia in the mix as well. There's a total of 6 tins. First prize will get 2, second prize will get 2, third prize will get 2. And what I'll do is a random drawing from all the video entries. And, you know, probably do like the first drawing is third prize, second drawing is second prize, last drawing is first prize. And the first prize winner will have the choice of 2 from those 6. Second prize gets the choice of the remaining 2 from the remaining 4, and third prize will get those remaining 2 tins sent over to them. So, you know, the typical rules, you got to be old enough, and, you know, I can't be responsible for customs and all that crud, but love for you to participate in that. And other than that, I don't know what you're doing, what you're heading into the weekend. It's a 3-day weekend, and I would implore you to remember the reason, at least in the States here, why it's a 3-day weekend. Because it's important, folks. It's important why we have this celebration in the U.S. that we call Memorial Day. So remember in your prayers all those who are actively serving in our military, keeping us safe, all those who have served in the past, and remember those who have given their entirety so that we can continue to enjoy the freedoms that we have here without the FDA even getting in the way. All right, I won't take any more digs at the FDA, other than to say, this Gawith Grousemoor, this is an over 200-year-old recipe, so I'm assuming it's safe from FDA deeming. All right, enough of my smart aleckness. Hey, listen, go out, have a great one, and count your blessings. Find them. Find reason to give thanksgiving. Get in that attitude of gratitude. And I promise you, when you start looking for those reasons, you're going to find them, and you'll find even more. It's just the way it works. This is Padre Piper. I can't even say my name. Padre Piper. Sound like Derek Tant now. Padre Piper coming to you. This is Padre Piper, wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessings.